the focus has already shifted from controversy to correction. There's no doubt about that. But several other uncertainties that still need to be ironed out. We'll go across, and through them one by one. First and foremost, how about you walk the viewers through some of the biggest takeaways from today's trust meetings? Which decision do you think carries the maximum institutional significance? Krishna Mohan seems to be at the helm of affairs now.
Well, I think, if you ask me, what has been done today should have been done on day one. When the case was exposed, when the embezzlement came to light, what has been done today should have been done on day one. It would have saved a lot of damage and a lot of hurt, which devout Hindus have suffered for the last 1 month. So the kind of probity which was shown today, all the missing items which were given to Lord Ram, to Ayodhya, to trust, which was on display, and the people who gave those gifts were not sure whether they were actually there or they were lost because they did not receive any kind of receipt. So I think, this is something which should have been done on day one. It would have saved the trust and a lot of embarrassment. Second, I think, the key takeaways is that the committee has been formed to look for a CEO, for the post of CEO who will manage the trust in a much more, a proper way. Third is that, after this, I think with the appointment of Krishna Mohan and also the exit of Champat Rai and the other, I think it would be prudent to say that the trust will now function in an extremely transparent fashion. They will make sure that transparency is not only being maintained, but is also being seen as maintained, because irrespective of what, the VHP office bearers say, this incident has definitely lent a body blow as far as the trust on trust is concerned.
Well, the constitution of this entire trust, you see, it was cited by Govind Devgiri himself that once the resignation has been submitted, there is no provision for it to be accepted or rejected. And I think Champat Rai himself stood up and he read out the constitutions or the provisions in the constitutions. Mr. Anand, what's your assessment here? Legally speaking, does acceptance of the resignations, do they end Champat Rai and Dr. Mishra's role in any capacity in the administration, or could they also cease to have any role in the temple trust at large, depending on the future decisions? Mind you, 22nd of July is when the trust is meeting again.
No, I don't think they will have any decisions. They will have any role in the decision making of the trust. They'll also visibly not be there in the trust because optically it's bad to make Champat Rai and Anil Mishra very visible on the scene, and because somehow I'm not going into the details that whether they are responsible or not responsible, but they have become the poster boys of all that has gone wrong basically in the this trust. Also, after the Sar Kareva of RSS, the General Secretary, Dattatreya Hosabale, so after he stepped in and he even gave the statement a couple of days ago, specifically talking about what has happened and how Sangh has taken to this. So I think the die was cast. So it was very clear that those who were at the helm of affairs, so there are acts of...
The only reason why I'm asking you this, Mr. Anand, is that, in that first reaction after the meeting, Govind Devgiri says that, it wasn't the trust members that actually asked them to step down. Mr. Champat Rai stood up and he said that, it is his own moral responsibility until the culprits are, brought to justice. It seems like I should be stepping down. And Govind Devgiri, he takes out time in that press conference and says that Champat Rai's services were hailed by all the trustee members. He has shown exemplary behavior. I mean, that's the only reason why I'm asking you this right now.
That's a respectful exit, basically. That's a respectful exit. As I said, there are acts of commission and there are acts of omission. So people who committed directly crime, they were responsible for the acts of commission. And people who had were supposed to have an oversight and not let this happen. So these were acts of omission. So technically speaking, they might not be, legally speaking, they might not be responsible directly for the haste which happened there. But definitely, morally, they are responsible for it. And as a matter of fact, see, nothing can take this away from nothing can take away the contribution of Champat Rai in the Ram Janmabhoomi movement. I have written 2 books on Ram Janmabhoomi movement, And so I have also basically, interacted with him. And he, after Ashok Singhal and Moropant Pingle, so he played a very significant role. Not many people of the current generation know about it, but he did play a very significant role in Ram Janmabhoomi movement and where it has reached today. So nobody can take this away from him. And he is 81 years old. So probably my assessment is that it's a respectful exit which has been given to him, because his personal integrity is not in doubt, but his administrative capability has been brought under scanner. So this is how I look at it.
Okay.
People can agree or disagree with this.